there was a need for small, portable and affordable wide-angle lens from Sigma. And here it is, just announced, brand new, shiny, tiny 20mm f2 DGDN contemporary lens. 20mm is a focal length that is not ultra-wide. It does not classify as ultra-wide, but it is wider than most of standard wide-angle lenses. This Sigma, at least on paper, ticks all the boxes. It's small, it's light, it's wide, but is it the 20mm to get? Keep watching to find out more. Quick disclaimer, I have this lens on loan from Sigma UK. However, I was not asked or paid to say anything specific about it, and this is my 100% unbiased and honest opinion about this lens. This 20mm lens is available in Sony E mount and L mounts. There's literally no competition for it for L mount, apart from the old Sigma 20mm, which is as big and as heavy as a house brick. But for Sony camera users, there are few lenses in this focal length available. More about that a little bit later. 20mm is a popular focal length, as it is, in my opinion, a little bit more versatile wide angle than 14 or 24mm. Sigma image quality here is just outstanding, no surprise there. As with all I series of contemporary lenses, this delivers really solid results for whatever type of photography or video work you are going to use this lens for. There's some chromatic aberration visible, tiny bit, very small. I don't think it is bad and certainly not unusual with the lens in this class. There's severe bulging like this, distortion visible, but only if you don't have lens distortion compensation switched on your camera. This is something that most, if not all, current cameras have, but as I have found out the hard way, it's not switched on by default on Sony a7IV. Anyway, the bulging can be corrected by most, if not all, cameras, or very simply in post. The sharpness and autofocus are superb, giving you edge-to-edge sharp images, even wide open. Superb contrast and color, seriously on par with top of the range lenses out there, and absolute joy to shoot with. I love that wide angle perspective that this focal length creates. It's a lens that is perfect for landscape, architecture, interiors, astro and more. And with this small form factor is a perfect lens to carry with you at all times. Certainly great as an everyday walkabout lens, or when you want to go as light as possible when traveling. Bokeh is smooth, but maybe not as important on a lens this wide, as you'd have to get closer to your subject to actually see this subject to background separation. But by getting too close might make everything look more distorted. The wide aperture of f2 makes this lens great for shooting in low light conditions. More important here than using wide aperture to achieve shallower depth of field. But anyway, the minimum focusing distance is 22 centimeters. Maybe not close-up lens, but close enough to get close. The size and weight of it makes it also a perfect choice for filming with, especially on a gimbal. 20mm enhances that sense of motion, but without being too wide to make the world look too distorted. The autofocusing is absolutely silent, accurate and solid. This is also a perfect focal length for vlogging or filming yourself handheld with. I'm not a huge fan of using ultra wide angle lenses for that, as they create too much distortion in my opinion. 20mm gives wide enough field of view to get you and your surroundings in the shot, but without it looking too weird. Build quality, as with all other I-series contemporary Sigma lenses, it's all metal construction here. Even the supplied metal lens hood is made out of metal. It has got that high quality vintage vibe going on. All metal, but fairly light, weighing only 370 grams, making it certainly lightweight. Only one button on the lens, standard auto manual focus switch. Manual aperture ring with clicks. This can be set to auto, A modes, and controlled electronically by the camera. I wish there was some kind of lock to lock the aperture ring in place, as I keep turning it every time I put this lens on the camera. Sigma says that this part between focus and aperture ring was designed as a finger hold when putting this lens on and taking it off the camera, but it just doesn't feel right for me to hold it there, and that's why I keep turning that aperture ring by accident every single time. It's just me though, it's not a problem at all. It's me, not you. The focus ring is super smooth with just the right amount of resistance. Saying that, I must say that there is a fair amount of focus breathing visible when filming with this lens. So it might not be for everyone for filming. Light, weather and dust sealing, I think it's just around the mount here, but better than nothing for sure. And the filter thread is 62mm. Value for money. This lens retails in UK for £649 or $699 in US. This makes it £300 or dollars cheaper than Sony-owned 20mm f1.8G. They're both about the same size and weight, but the Sigma is so much cheaper. There's also Tokina with their own f2 20mm lens. It is cheaper, slightly, ever so slightly than this, but it is also heavier, and it is not Sigma. It's not. You also have Tamron 20mm f2.8 macro lens. This is an entry-level budget lens and not in the same class as this. In my opinion, the only competition, real competition, this Sigma has got is from the Sony lens. I think this lens will most likely appeal to someone already invested in Sigma lens ecosystem or wants to get into it, or someone who wants a high quality lens, 20mm lens, but for less money than the Sony equivalent. It's a great addition to I-series. It matches the quality and the external look of all other lenses in the series. Is it good value for money? Absolutely, the price is right for what it is on offer here. High-end, high-quality build and performing small light 20mm lens from top brand. Conclusion, this is a lens that will appeal to a lot of photographers and filmmakers. The quality it delivers is outstanding, and it is small, light and built to last. I really like that in-between focal length, as it makes a little bit more usable in more situations when 14mm is too wide and 24mm is not wide enough. Obviously. Superb choice for video work as well, or when you just want to go with a minimalist setup. But yeah, it's got a focus breathing, remember that. Would I buy it or would I go for the Sony 20mm? If the price was the same, I'd go with the Sigma. It looks cooler. But the reality is that this is much cheaper and the quality it delivers is outstanding. For me, this is the winner. I am a fan and I'm highly recommending it. And this is it from me. I hope this video was in some way informative or entertaining. If it was, please give me the thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Keep watching to find out more. Man, this is wrong. Quick disclaimer. Oh, that's a big echo. Mother. Hey! I'm not a huge fan of using ultra wide blah 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 blah. I wish there was some kind of lock to lock the aperture. Aperture. Don't make mistakes. Sigma says that this is this part between focus and aperture ring. Me. It's me, not you. If the price was the same,